Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the shortest basketball player in the world?
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sports entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Sports Social is live on your radio. Impact Radio 102.1 FM. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Lagosian. Welcome aboard the ride this evening. And together we'll be going through all of the major stories currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and the sometimes controversial world of sport. We are not doing bits and pieces on the show this evening. I tell you, we'll be dissecting of the major topics, going straight into it. The stories that most definitely matter to every one of us right about now, especially if you are a Lagosian. Like I mentioned, good time to be a Lagosian right now. Because come next season, 2026-2027, we'll be eating so good. A couple of derbies to look forward to, I tell you, for free. I definitely want to be a part of this. Welcome aboard the ride. Our Sports Offshore 9 Radio 102.1 FM. I'll be doing something magical together this evening. At the first half of the show, I tell you, and maybe the entirety of the show, by the way, because so much to talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League, about the Nigerian National League, as well as football generally in this part of the earth. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on this show this evening. And together with me on the show, I'll be talking to someone who is definitely into the system of the Nigerian football ecosystem. He's a talent manager right about now. Currently working with Sporting Lagos. I've got Lekan Omoboye with me in the studio. Lekan, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing?
Very well. It's been a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Understandably, it's from one location to another, different trips, different travels. How's it been, by the way?
It's been fun. It's been hectic also. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy, but I mean, it's work. We prayed for this, so we have to do it.
All right. I get that part truly. I mean, may the good Lord continue to strengthen every one of us. Now let's go straight into some of the stories we're talking about right now. Like I mentioned, the whole football ecosystem in Lagos is buzzing right now. Of course, for the first time in a very long time, we'll be having derbies right here in Lagos. But before we go to that side, let's talk about the team that you definitely represent, Sporting Lagos. Yeah. Of course, you were in the league a couple of years ago. Like 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, not until that relegation happened. And it is usually being said that relegation is part of football. If you don't relegate, then you are really, you are not there yet. Because talk about some of the big teams across the globe have also, at a point in time, tasted what it feels like to play in the lower in lower league. But for Sporting Lagos, how has it been generally for the noisy Lagosians? I'll sneak that in.
It's been tough. I'm not going to lie by saying it's a bed of roses. Especially when the relegation happened. There was a lot of restructuring that had to be done. You have to look inward and look at like what are we doing? How are we doing?
Where
things?
did you get it wrong?
Where did we get it wrong? How are we approaching things going forward? What are the things that we are going to change and all of that? And I think we are grateful that some of those decisions that we took then, very tough ones, are eventually paying off now. Even if people doubt, even if people doubted and people thought these decisions might sound bizarre or they don't make sense, but those decisions that did not make sense back then are now making sense right now. So
good one that the decision I feel like maybe they are out of this or that definitely what the club is reaping right now. Top of their conference in the NNL, most definitely, which is what is pushing them back to the league right now. How do you take a look at the talent that you have within your scope at Sporting Lagos right about now?
Top talents, to be honest. If there's anything we got right this season, I think it is talent and recruitment. In fact, I look at some of the boys on the bench and I'm like, come on, this guy is still in our team, and this guy is like an amazing talent, and he's not probably even getting the play time, not because it's not good, but just because there's abundance of talent. So I think if there's anything we did right this time around is get the right talents in every position.
Okay, if you're talking about the talents, also talk about the head coach, the manager, etc. Jeff Botta, if I'm not mistaken. Jeff Botta, thank you for helping me out with that. Has it been working hand in hand with him, working closely with him, and seeing the way he's been able to put this, put everything together to get the boys into the psyche of the boys generally?
All right, so at Sporting Lagos, talent development is not just limited to like the players, the technical team, and even as far as the media team and everybody all around. Is a group of talents. But now, just focusing on the technical team, it's been amazing, specifically for me, working closely with the coach, and not just the coach. To be honest, I think the whole technical team in Sports Lagos are amazing. The assistant coach, Coach Okpe, Mizaza, and the analysts also, Toluse and also Divine. It's been amazing working with them, seeing from their scope and point of view. You usually have the way you see things, but when you see the way other people see things, it broadens your, perspective and your scope. And I watch them, have their late night meetings, switch tactically, prepare for the game, do their opposition analysis. Sometimes there are some in-game changes and switches, and that is exactly what you expect from coaches in this 20th or 21st century. Adapting to trends and also working at the highest capacity, and that is what the technical team has provided this season. I absolutely loved working with them this season.
Oh, that's incredible. I love what I'm hearing right about now, because for the life of me, most times when you get to hear about the media guys, it feels like they work separately from the technical guys, and as though some of the meetings that the technical guys do have are like in secret. Because I remember I have a friend who at the point in time was like, he wants to be a media guy that is involved in everything that is happening within the team as well. But then it feels like there's a bit of segregation between, if you are not part of the technical, maybe they feel like you are going to be leaking informations and what's not.
All right, that's not the way it is. But the roles are distinct, to be very honest. The roles are very distinct, and I would understand sometimes when some members of the technical team or crew do not want to sometimes, but here where I work, like I said, it is an ecosystem. It's not limited to Sporting Lagos alone. What you said is applicable in a lot of places in Nigeria, but here at Sporting, I think we even work hand in hand, because there are some times where coach is buzzing the media guys and it's like, these specific actions in the game, I want this, that for my technical sessions. I want this for a motivational session, because probably I want the boys to watch a video of how we lost, so that they understand the type of rage they need to have going into the next game. So I think this season, the media was not, segregated here at Sporting Lagos. We worked very closely, because a lot of times, coach was, making some requests that the media team had to, the storytelling team had to, deliver, and he probably also used them for some tactical sessions, or, like I said, maybe motivational, or, whatever sessions that he had to, to work on. And I think it was a team success, to be honest, teamwork and
18
success.
games, 11 wins, 3 draws, and just 4 losses
Yeah.
this season.
That was impressive.
An amazing record, if you ask me. Because if you take a look at it, plus or minus, just let's say 7 matches that you guys. 3 matches you didn't get to take any point off it, and 7 in total where maybe you just managed 1 point and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this particular form right about now, do you think that is something that is replicable when Sporting Lagos finally gets to the NPFL again?
So I don't want to be the one that toots their own or make noise, but definitely yes.
But the team at the point was known to be noisy. I mean, before you dropped down to the second tier, the tag was the noisy Lagosians.
Yeah, the noise never stopped. Looking at the results right now, after the season
making
now,
its noise on its own, right?
after the season now, when we look at the form we had, it's impressive, it is amazing. But trust me, for a fact, there was a time where none of it was funny because we were not top of the table. We dropped a lot of points at home. So we're not even looking at it from this perspective. It was, we've done ourselves. Like, we're our greatest undoing. I mean, if we had just probably pick maximum points, we're winning away. But we're not winning at home at a point. And, it was fans were raging. We were also, like, having a bit of internal conversations with ourselves as to what is going on. Why are we getting the points away from home? But we were not. Because if we had gotten the points the way we've done away, and we also got at home, we would not need any of the final day battle that we got into. So at that point, we're not, even up until the final day, we were not looking at, we've had how many wins away or how many wins totally. What mattered was, let's just get the promotion. But now looking at it in retrospect is very interesting to say, wow, that was impressive. I think a 61% win rate, and all of that. But like, trust me, it was not like that. Even up until the semi-final day, it was more of, we could have done better. But destiny's our hands. Let's go and do it on the final day. Yeah.
Amazing one right there for Sporting Lagos, and also everyone that has a bit of part to play in this particular promotion by the side. Now let's bring it to the NPFL. So much has been talked about with the Nigerian National League. Now Sporting Lagos will be back in the NPFL after about 2 years away from it. I tell you, the NPFL has changed from what Sporting Lagos, used to experience back then. Because I remember when it was Sporting Lagos, it was just maybe a bit of 2 privately owned clubs that were playing there. Let's say Remo Stars and even Sporting itself, and it was a lot more different. But this time around, it looks like a whole lot of at least we'll be having about 4 or 5 private owned clubs teams, coming to the NPFL by next season. But then talking about Lagos itself, it's going to be Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos, and Ikorodu City. A derby to look forward to. I mean, from your own perspective, how do you see this panning out?
It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be
You have to split fans.
It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be fun for me, because not just that we're having 3 Lagos-based teams. I think these are 3 teams that are also privately owned, because Lagos State, of course, does not have a state-owned team like that. But apart from that, it's something I'm looking forward to, because these are also teams that, to a large extent, are also properly run. So I'm looking forward to the media tug of war. I'm looking forward to the buzz, the hype, not anything negative, but positively driving the league, and the amount of noise that will be made to 6 times we are playing against ourselves in Lagos this season. So I expect that those 6 times the 3 teams are pulling resources together to ensure that people know that yes, football is in Lagos. You can watch a team in Lagos.
Bringing back that lost energy.
Yeah, so like the fans should be able to like feel the impact of teams are playing in Lagos. I mean, it is Lagos, it is the center, and people should be able to feel the vibe. So online, offline, people should be able to, and even on the match day, we want to see that buzz. We want people to come and enjoy beautiful football, and I hope Sporting Lagos takes all the maximum points.
And the trollings too. I mean, you mentioned about it, like
the
banter, social media banter.
Exactly.
Well, I look forward to that, but I really do not think. Well, you guys might be winning on that side, because for the other teams, they when we get to that bridge, you'll cross it. But then just make sure you do it. So yes, let's talk about the Super 4 right now.
Yeah,
the season is not yet over in the NNL. There's going to be the Super 4 that will be involving Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos. There's going to be the Rancha Bees as well, another team who are also Doma United. These 4 teams then will now be having the team that will be crowned champions of the Nigerian National League. How is the team preparing towards this? It's definitely going to be early next month.
So of course, after promotion, there was just about a few. Funny enough, I think I only told like one other person.
Yeah.
We got promoted, did all of this celebration, sure, came back home. And it was funny because that same day, coach was already, talking to the boys about, just the day they arrived, was already talking to the boys about, the season is not entirely over. We still have to prepare for the Super Fund. Work has been, going on in full gear to ensure that we also go to the location, which is in Ikene, not just to, win. We want to win, but also we want to show the brand of football that we play. We want to show how hard we've worked this season, because I think that is also a very good platform. The league was a good platform, but playing at the Remo Star Stadium Ikene is a very nice stadium, good broadcast. Let's play wonderful football. Let's play beautiful football. We've played an amazing brand of football. I've not seen any type of team play the way we've played. But of course, we want to also go to Ikene and show that same grit, that same intensity that we've had all season, and let people see that yes, this is one brand of football that is worth watching and paying for.
And if you take a look at even the draws for that particular game, they saved the best for the last for us. The derby is definitely going to be the first taste of the derby will be coming last.
Sporting Lagos versus Inter Lagos.
Inter Lagos. That's going to be on the day 4, if I'm not mistaken, which is like March 3, like the final. How do we, savor this? What should we look forward to? The first of its kind derby, but it's going to be away from home.
I know it's happening in Kenya. I trust Sporting Lagos fans though that they are going to make that trip and travel for the game, so you can expect that buzz. I don't know about Inter Lagos. I'll come in their fans, but I trust Sporting Lagos fans to make the trip. And at that place, it is the first taste of the world. I don't want to go into I don't see it as I don't know what would be happening by then, but I believe that by then we probably have gotten our hands on the title or something. But even if we've not, it's just going to be a type of football that we should look forward to. We and Inter Lagos have had, quite a number of closed-door friendlies building up into the season. We're not in the same conference, so I think this is we met at the FA Cup about 2 years back, but this would be probably our second competitive meeting ever, and look forward to it. I see Sporting Lagos winning, of course, but look forward to it.
Well, if anyone is asked to, take a O and farm, you definitely want to farm to that place. Of course. Where you're sitting. A good one for Sporting Lagos, good one for the Nigerian National League in general. And of course, I would like us to talk a little bit about the NPFL. The league is definitely on a bit of little break right now because yesterday and a couple of days ago we had some of the finals of the State Federations Cup being played in different match centers, and then we're looking forward to the final running of the NPFL as well. It's been an amazing season in the Nigerian Premier Football League this time around, with a lot of teams still scrambling to have a shot or to what it's going to feel like at the top of the table. The table has changed a whole lot. The table has changed a whole lot. Right now, we have Enugu Rangers still currently sitting at top of that party. With 3 games to go, they have Rivers United coming second. The Kurdi City are third on the log right now. But in the drop zone, the unexpected has been happening so far, which is definitely Remo Stars. Though it feels like they might just be, on that path to survival this time around, since they had to change a bit of things when it comes to their manager. Osman Abdullah took over, and then looks like they're having this bit of resource. I think they've had 3 wins in their last 5 matches. But in your own books, do you also see Remo at the end of the day surviving this relegation scare?
I want them to. It's crazy down there. The caliber of teams that we're having in and around the relegation waters. We are talking about 9-time champions in Imba. We're talking about Remo Stars. We're talking about Kano Pillars, who are also a prestigious club in the NPFL with a lot of 5. Kwara United, also the winner, exactly, the winner of the President's Federations Cup, also tasting relegation. It is a tussle. And even Kun Khalifa that we thought was left for dead and it was all over and done, all of a sudden they are having this resurge and they are fighting and everything. So it's going to be a difficult one. 3 match days to go, I believe, and it is going to be a fight until death. I hope that Remo Stars can, stay afloat. So more for personal reasons. One, because we don't have to travel. Our travels are reduced. We have more southwestern travels. When we have Remo Stars. And then you have
the southwest derby too.
Exactly. We have more southwest.
Another big game
more games to play in the southwest, and also for what it's worth for the investment in Kenya and all of that. So
I mean, you don't have this amount of facilities and use it in the NNL.
Exactly. I mean, we are looking at Tottenham also about to relegate with their with their world-class multi-million dollar. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it is football. You have to like get the results on the pitch for all of this to happen. So I hope that they can do the job on the pitch and beat the drop at the last day. But I mean, it is largely dependent on the football player.
If you had to predict someone to take the crown of the NPFL right about now, who would you be picking? The first to third are only being separated by about 4 points. The first position has 59 points, second is with 58, and the third team, Lagos-based side, with 55 points.
Yeah. All right, so this is putting me on the spot, but I think I've always said it that I love Rangers International just for I don't know, personal sentimental reasons, but I would love to see them win. But I can't deny that Rivers United also have had a solid season and a solid charge.
Even if they didn't represent us well
at the continent. I mean, I will not largely blame them because if you look at it, Rivers United has been one of the major reasons why Nigeria is even having a go at the continent. They've been very consistent over the last this was their poorest over the last 6-5 years. Yeah. They've been the one ensuring that we keep our 4 slots. If not our I don't know, we'll just be fielding about maybe 2 teams.
Or 3 teams.
So but I mean, when we are talking about the league, they've also had a good charge. And if you look at the running, I think they have 2 home games and 1 away game to end because they had a time where they were playing their outstanding games. I had a run of 4 away games. Yeah. So now, whether we like to agree to it or not, that's a bit of advantage for them as against Rangers that might have to go away from home twice and only have 1 home game. In fact, they are coming to Lagos, I think, for the last match of the season. So yeah, I wish everyone the best. I'm tipping.
I mean, already picked
I'm tipping Rangers to win, but I think Rivers United will.
All right, thank you so much for that particular submission. So before we wrap up concerning the Nigerian League and also the NPFL and the NNL in general, I mean, you as a person who, to some extent, you are in the system and you see how this thing is being run in the Nigerian football ecosystem. I know that if you are being asked right now, you've got a whole lot to say when it comes to the administrative part of the Nigerian football and some of the the anki-pankies that happen when all of these things are being staged. So if you have to drop like let's say 2 cents concerning the Nigeria, I know it's more than 2, but if you have to drop a 2 cents concerning football in this part of the world, what would you say?
Okay.
You have to take a deep breath.
Yeah, you have to take a deep breath because if you even watched, a lot happened on the final day of the season when we played Oshu United. I mean, we needed a win. We needed a win to be sure that our destiny was in our hands. Because if we had lost, we had to hope that Akwa United also lost. But you see an Oshu United that wasn't even gunning for anything. I mean, an already mathematically relegated Oshu United that you would expect that they should not, there should be no problem. Even if you are going to face them,
maybe a walk in the
away
park
from home. Yeah, you expect that. I mean, I'm not saying you should allow us, but I mean, I don't expect any frivolities or anything. But even in that particular game, it was crazy. Let me just go to the 2 cents. I believe that sports in Nigeria, the potential for sports in Nigeria is great. Nigeria is one of those countries that are supposed to be up there. I travel.
The footballing nation.
Yeah, I don't believe in that, but I travel a lot and I see a lot of abandoned stadiums, a lot of dreams shattered just because we are not getting things right. I think if we eventually get things right in Nigeria with with not just with football, with sports, athletics, and all of that, we have the population, we have the talents, but many of these are dying. And when I say talents, I don't even mean the athletes themselves. Even job creation. I mean, we should be having more media officers, more talent managers, more pitch managers, and all of that. But we are lacking in all of that because our, in quotes, administrators are not currently getting things right. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry to say it is the truth. So I think if we can just take things seriously and do things the right way, we are going to see a turnaround. We are potentially sitting on a multi-million dollar, or let me even say naira industry. But because things are waiting to be tapped into, there's a lot. But because we are not doing things the right way, people are tired, people are getting tired, people are just I feel for Sporting Supreme they pulled out at the start of the NNL because of some personal reasons and some things that they saw and they felt as a private team is not worth it. And if you look at it critically, sometimes it's really not worth it. But like I always say, if one or two talents can be developed and can make it to the top and get their dreams fulfilled, I mean, we'll continue doing the little that we can do. But to be honest, things have to change.
Most definitely things have to change, and then a lot of talks have been concerning that particular one, and we are definitely crossing our fingers to see when all of these things will be put into place, because like you rightly mentioned, this is like a big industry that you still have a couple of talents that are waiting to be tapped, not just in the part of the the footballers itself, but every other thing that has to do with the game of football right there. Away from the NPFL right now, I would like to talk to you about your own darling team as well. I mean, doing amazing well right about now. Definitely top of the Spanish La Liga right there. And would you be willing to give would you allow Real Madrid to give your team a guard of honor at the end of the day? I know that you are going for that 100 points.
They should give me a guard of honor now. Why should they not give me a guard of honor? It's been an amazing season. Real Madrid with their own personal woes.
Yeah.
Potentially another trophyless season for them. Even after we would assume that they have assembled their Galacticos team in Vinicius, Mbappe, they have Jude Bellingham. So the dictator quotes have been killing me. So you would assume that they've assembled their ultimate team, they are another Galacticos, but to be honest, a lot of things are not going well for them. From the managerial change to fans even having a go at themselves between the dictator now and Vinicius and
and
Bellingham.
a lot of facts concerning the two players right there, and I think at the point in time it was even been said that most times when the two players are on the pitch together, they have lesser go out.
Yeah. So I think it is a problem that goes deep and whatever. But I mean, as a Barcelona fan, I wouldn't care. I'm happy. 11 points clear if I'm correct, and it's not like Barcelona has also had, and we've had an exceptional season, but our own fair share of injury woes and also some poor drops. But it is what it is. The title is coming home again.
I mean, your next match is going to be against Osasuna, by the way, and like I mentioned, that particular 100 points is what Barca are definitely looking forward to under Hansi Flick. I think the last time it happened was under Tito Villanova, if I'm not mistaken. And a couple of good news coming through from that camp now. It's also been said that Lamine Yamal has also broken that historic La Liga record. I think he's won the Player of the Month for the third time running right now.
Lamine Yamal, amazing footballer. Funny enough, just while I was on my way here, I saw a video of the first time he was introduced, I think versus Real Betis, and I had been watching him play for the for La Masia. Sometimes I just with time on my hands and my line of work, I try to watch talents develop. So the La Liga futures under 12, the UEFA Youth League. But I saw him in that game against Betis. The pass he made, I think, to Dembele could not convert though, but you could see that this is one pure talent, and I think he played in the Champions League that season too against AC Milan or something, if I'm correct. So Lamine Yamal is an amazing talent. People might have issues with his off the pitch type of lifestyle, but for me, I think he's an amazing talent, and it's impressive because it is funny when you think about it. The fact that this is not even his prime yet. I mean, this boy is just what
going to 19.
This boy, when he started out and people said, "Oh, his shooting was not so good," I'm like, you are dealing with a young boy. I mean, he's doing all of these other things well. He can decide to use the next 1 year and that's what happened. And that's what happened. Under a year, you see him scoring more. You see him making better decisions, and I think it's just scary. And I hope. It's scary what he can still become, but I hope, injuries do not plague him. In that game, like I said, I was watching before I came.
He was out injured in that particular encounter.
So I watched that, and I also saw Ansu Fati in the background, and I just hope that
Ansu Fati, what would
not
have
injury. Been? I mean, what would have been? We never can tell. We will not know what could have been, but I just hope. I think if Lamine Yamal is injury free, it's one generation, is one of those people you can actually classify as a generation, because it's not only doing it in Barcelona, is in this amazing Spanish squad that are running through everybody, and now it's a World Cup here. I just hope the injuries don't become it, because this injury was almost going to send him out of the start of the World Cup before it was confirmed that it was just for a mild 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks thereabout, or maybe we'll just be out till the end of the season, and we'll be back for the World Cup. So if the injuries don't come running, I think Lamine Yamal is an amazing, generational talent.
Well, 45 days to the World Cup, but we'll not talk about that just yet. I've still got you on the show with me this evening. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. Yeah, before we go to talk about the World Cup, let's take a bit of stop in the world of football stew. Let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Actions resume tomorrow. Now, most definitely want to look forward to a couple of debates now as to who is going to be winning the UEFA Champions League this time around, and we already know that we have 4 teams gunning for it: Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, and also you have Paris Saint-Germain right there, picking from these 4 teams to see who is going to be winning. I mean, PSG will be looking to retain that title. Do you see it, possible, considering who they are going to be up against, the Bavarians?
So PSG have proven to be impressive again this season. The way they ran through some of their opponents in this running,
especially the English Premier League side.
Exactly, the English Premier League side.
They left them with no chance.
Left them for dead.
Yeah.
I watched the first leg. I think against Liverpool was deadly. Looks like they could have totally and absolutely destroyed them even from the first leg, and that is one team you should be scared of. But I also look at Bayern Munich and I see what that team is currently doing, Vincent Kompany.
They already broke that 100 points.
But now it is sad. I think it is somewhat sad that we are not going to be witnessing that matchup in the final, because we're having them
in the semi-final.
But I think it's still going to be an interesting watch, and I personally think whoever makes it out of that tie would be the winner for me. I think whoever makes it out of that tie would go on to win the Champions League. That is my own personal submission. So? I think so. That's my personal submission.
They are playing either of Arsenal or Atletico Madrid.
I don't care. Both teams are not serious.
Really?
We've seen Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid looks like that team that is just always in and around the top places, but they don't get to the top. That's what Arsenal also looks like.
To them at the Copa del Rey
They've
final.
constantly done it in the Copa del Rey, in the Champions League, got into finals multiple times. Eventually, Madrid gets the edge over them. In the league, they are in and around, but they just eventually settle with their second or third position. And they are so, like I said, people look at them as a top club in the top conversations a lot of times, but they have not done enough to cement. In fact, they've gotten a fair share of titles. They've been in a lot of finals, but they don't always get over the line. And I don't see them starting to do it now. When I don't even think this is the best of them. So I don't see them starting to do it now. Same as Arsenal. We saw how they started.
You're saying same as
how they are going
Arsenal.
down.
Let me remind you that in the UEFA Champions League this season, this Arsenal team remains unbeaten.
A team that's
12 games so far.
I'm not phased. It is Arsenal. Okay.
Bro, they've won 10.
Let me put it to you this way. So they've won 10 and they're unbeaten this season.
Yeah.
Mind you, this same season also, they were top of the Premier League table for close to 7 months, and now where are they?
They are still top of the table.
They were temporarily They temporarily lost that top of the table status, and that is only because Manchester City had an FA Cup game to play. Okay. So if they've won 10 games, I don't care. If they should prove me wrong, but I don't see them winning the title this season.
So you're trying to tell me now that you see Arsenal with this stigma of being a typical butler.
Yeah, and now Atletico Madrid looks that way to me. Also, So it's a battle.
But one of them has to go through. So
yeah, that is the battle of the bigger Arsenal butler now. The bigger butler goes through now. It's a battle of butlers. It's a battle of butlers. So may the best butler win. Actually, that's just the truth. Bottling a Copa del Rey final without a Barcelona and Real Madrid. Come on, you are not a serious team. Can't be a serious team.
All right. Lekan is saying that whoever wins between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich about now is definitely the team you will be touting to win the UEFA Champions this season at the end of the day. Well, May is just around the corner, and then we're looking forward to that amazing final right there in Budapest. Of course, Bayern Munich have been having an amazing season so far this particular time. I think they broke that 100 goals record already this season, and I think they have about 82 points in the German Bundesliga as well already. They won
and they are still raring to go, because last match they still came back, from a 2-3 goal deficit, 2 goal deficit, I think, or 3, to win 4-3. And so, for a team that is what I'm saying, that is the winner's mentality. For a team that has already won the league, coming putting in all of that effort to come back to still win, to some people you say is like probably not necessary. But that is the mindset of a champion, and that's a fact.
Most definitely, and we look forward to see how that is going to pan out for Bayern Munich at the end of the season. They have the chance of winning another trophy on their hand. They've already won the Bundesliga. They are in the final of the DFB Pokal and also the FA Champions. So maybe the company might just be winning a treble right there in Germany before we call it a wrap on the amazing 2025-2026 season. Still Sports Up Show on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We're also live on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. 0907-224-5018 is definitely the gateway to the studio this evening. Now I've got Lekan Omoboye with me in the studio, the talents manager for Sporting Lagos. So much has been talked about concerning the Nigerian football ecosystem. We talked about Sporting Lagos generally, and also their push to the Nigerian Premier Football League for this 2026-2027 season. And just to remind you once again, that come next year is going to be a bit of buzz, a bit of energy, a bit of noise, a bit of, enthusiasm, a bit of joy on the face of football enthusiasts, because 3 Lagos-based side will be playing the NPFL for the first time in a long time. And this is to tell you that right about now, football in this part of the world is also an amazing and also an upward trajectory, which is something that every one of us should be looking to back moving forward. Still talking sports on the show right here this evening. Sports Option 95 Radio 102.1 FM. I tell you, still so much to talk about, so much to look into. We've got about 12 more minutes to spend together on the show. Before we move away from the world of football, we've still got a couple of talks. I mean, the World Cup is 45 days away. For some players right now, you see some players, some tackles, if it's not necessary, you don't find them there. Because look, I don't want you to cut my dream short. I saw Xavi Simons with Tottenham Hotspur the other day. He was legit crying.
Same thing with Ugo Ekitike. I was also sad. It was sad because I think Ekitike has been eating top gear, and also for his
just about the time he's picking that.
And
form.
Also in his national team side, every time they've had the international break in recent times, he's been that go-to player for them. Seeing him, I can imagine the dreams he's been having, exactly.
I mean, definitely for every footballer,
exactly. And all of a sudden, you just hear the news, crashing out of the World Cup. So Xavi Simons also is just, Xavi Simons, even for club side, just started eating, a type of gear, a top gear, and to hear that such player is going to be crashing out of the World Cup is it's a very sad thing, but we can't predict this life. It's one of the downsides of life, to be honest.
And a couple of other names that you'll be putting on that injury list. I mean, earlier today as well, Real Madrid also confirmed that Kylian Mbappe is going to be out, but then he might just be finding, just like Lamine Yamal for Spain, Kylian Mbappe too might be finding himself a little bit lucky to still be a part of the World Cup.
Do we say, first off, to start with, Real Madrid might start scoring more goals now? Okay, but away from that was just like you said.
I don't like that shade, yeah.
So away from that, away from that. Mbappe is an integral part of the French national team. He's their captain currently, and I think the old French people would be praying. I think the injury woes have been coming on for a while. It's been either.
I mean, at the point in time, it was being said that maybe it was a Real Madrid medical team
and he had to probably take a surgery. He's been in and out. So I know that the French people would be hoping and praying that their captain and arguably most important, player does not get to miss the World Cup. I mean, that would definitely be one thing that the French people or people of France cannot afford right now. Yeah, so I wish Mbappe speed recovery. I actually like him as a footballer. So,
I like him as a footballer, but not against your team.
No.
Of course, like I mentioned, 45 days to the FIFA World Cup 2026, and a lot of things are already being said about that particular World Cup right about now, especially concerning the country where it is being staged, and a lot of back and forth. Earlier today, I was saying countries, federations, presidents saying that Donald Trump should be stripped of the peace prize that FIFA has given to him. I mean, it feels like United States bought this World Cup. Because, it looks like it is USA against the rest of the world.
It is, I don't know. I'm also skeptical about the USA hosting the World Cup because we know the World Cup is like if you are a football fan, the World Cup is like that ritual for you. It's like that event that everyone looks
wants
forward
to be a part of it.
Wants to be a part of it, but I've not seen that this year. I remember Russia, I remember South Africa, I remember Qatar.
Where's the
there was a
buzz?
buzz. Even the host nations were already doing a lot of PR, a lot of adverts to let you know, oh, we are happy to receive you guys. We're happy to have you in our country. What we've been seeing in US is you cannot come to our country. You cannot come to our country. For you to come to our country, you have to pay 1,000 bond. You have to do this. You have to do that. Oh, you don't even try coming to our country.
The other day,
so
the other day it was a colleague who just randomly sent me a note and be like, "You said you want to go to the World Cup. Yeah, look at this. You must have up to 1,000 bonds before you're able to travel." I'll be like, okay.
Yesterday, I still saw a message saying, if you're a journalist, please ensure you go only on the journalist whatever visa. Do not go with the visitors visa.
You cannot even guarantee arrested. That I'm coming to cover
and
a World Cup.
Another reason, apart from all of this, entry and exits, because other countries open up their hands to allow people coming for the World Cup. Because I mean that is an avenue. I remember Brazil hosted then, and there was a significant GDP boost. They came out of recession or something, and it was because they did that. I think they did the Confederations Cup also, and they hosted probably Olympics. I think at that point in time. But I mean, USA is not opening up their arms. And another thing that makes me not look forward to USA being host was the test run that happened at the FIFA Club World Cup. We saw games paused for long periods because of weather issues. We saw how harsh the weather was. Games had to be paused. Sometimes, the stadiums had to be infused with air conditioners. Some game had to be stopped again, not just because of weather, but for water breaks and just cooling breaks now, not even all of that. So
I mean, a lot of things are going to be changing with this World Cup. We also heard about the timeouts that will be having, a couple of minutes that will be spending for breaks, and just like you said, that has also been put into test during the last international break, and you can see fans complain like, this is killing the beauty of this game. Why are you giving me a 316 screen size that I want to watch football?
A lot for the thing people don't know sometimes is that when it comes to the USA, they are one of the largest. In fact, they are the largest. I would say they are the largest business cartel in the world, and for them it is showbiz.
All they want is the money.
It's showbiz. At the last Club World Cup, I was laughing when I saw footballers coming. NBA style players were coming one after the other. Names called.
Super Bowl.
It was. I was like, what's going on here? I mean, this is a beautiful game. Don't try to change this. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Football, it's not soccer.
I don't know. And we're watching a game, and players had to go into the dressing room because of harsh weather and coming like about some 20-30 minutes later. I could imagine the World Cup final where we had France versus Argentina. Imagine something like that happening, and just before the extra time or that penalty shootout, they all had to go inside and. I mean, it is not the best, but
well, maybe it might be a little bit of suspense.
USA have gotten the hosting already.
We just have to play by their rules.
Exactly. Yeah, people go in, please. Just, go and abide by the rules.
Yeah, I know exactly what you are doing right there, because for every passing hour, you just have to hear about maybe a gunfight. I mean, the other day it was even their president that was.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the second time in about 3 years where Donald Trump. It happened when he was contesting. When just before the election, I think he had a gunshot scare, and now it has happened again. That's to the president himself.
So if you are going there to cover the World Cup, you should know exactly what you're doing.
Know what you're doing.
Before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit about boxing on the show. I mean, to someone who definitely has a bit of influence in this part of the earth, Anthony Joshua. Last year was supposed to have a bout and it didn't happen, and around December I also got into a bit of accident right here in Nigeria, but looks like he's going to be bouncing back soon, because it's been said that he's going to be having an exhibition fight in July, and that particular fight that a lot of British have been looking forward to, the all-British fight between himself and also Tyson Fury, might be happening before the end of the year. I mean, both of them are two-time world champion, but what do you think from this? Anthony Joshua, if you ask me, I would say he's a fighter, because you can count the number of persons that this kind of thing will happen to, and they will still be back and say, I still want to get into the bout, because psychologically, emotionally, mentally, some people would have lost it.
Exactly. Sure. I right now I think some people still believe a a school of thought, or some people believe that he shouldn't even be back in the ring, or like some people even predicted that I was probably going to retire, after the whole incident. But looking at it on the bright side or on the other side, I also think this is what he loves doing, and this is him. So I think this might also be a way to fight, how do I put it now? To fight the old feelings and the emotions and everything like get back to doing what you love doing the most. I think I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best, to be very honest. I don't know if it would be back. Even before the incident happened, we've seen a bit of decline in his, in his
I think
in his
before
craft
that
and all
December,
of that.
He fought around September. And it wasn't really all that, convincing one from Anthony Joshua right there. But talking about this particular one, like I mentioned, he's going to be fighting against someone that is very much unknown, Christian Prenga, right there in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And a lot of fans are already saying that, this is another money-making opportunity for the Saudi Arabians. Exactly. Of course, they will be hosting that particular one. Christian Prenga is an Albanian, and he's definitely boasting a record of 20 wins, all by stoppage and just one loss, bro. This one is here to okay. I've got a comment right here on TikTok. This person says AJ is back. All right, Garba, may think, and he says he should just salvage more fronts towards the end of his career. Definitely, it's all about the money. Of course, that is exactly what is happening right there in Saudi Arabia right now. The British fighter most recent appearance was against the YouTuber Jake Paul. We saw that one. So after that fight, he came to Nigeria and then he got involved in that
accident.
And that passenger accident right here in Nigeria. But then a date on the venue for the Joshua versus Fury has not been announced just yet. But according to Eddie Earn, who is the promoter, is saying that it could land in November on the streaming giant right there. So we're looking forward to that blockbuster British boxing on the global stage, which has been on for a couple of decades. Some boxing enthusiasts already look forward to it, like, look here, we are already losing interest in this, and we know that what these two guys want to come and do is just come and rake in, the funds to be able to retire very well. Don't forget, a couple of months ago, we also heard that Anthony Joshua has moved all his, financial obligations and engagement away from the UK, moved it to Dubai, where it's going to be tax-free, if I'm not mistaken. So wrapping up the show this evening once again, we'll come back to football, because like I mentioned, I've got Lekan Omoboye with me in the studio this evening, who is the talents manager with Sporting Lagos. Not too new, but they are just, fresh into the Nigerian Premier Football League. Another time for them to come. And are you coming to test the waters again?
No. Of course, we're yet to stay this time around. We're yet to stay. That's the plan. We're yet to stay in the NPFL.
Well, Lekan is saying that Sporting Lagos is yet to stay in the NPFL. Of course, even as though they are not in the NPFL, they've been doing amazing work. Talk about players transfers. Talk about nurturing the talents for their European team. I know on record that the C also has another team right there in Portugal, where it just feels as though
used to do.
You say what?
I said used to do. The stake has been sold because the club, which is a traditional club, believed at a point that they also wanted full ownership back. I think. Okay. So the stake was basically just sold back to the club owners. But we are very much still in contact. In fact, we have three of our ex-players still. One of our players still left after the resale of the stake. Okay. That was January Suf Abdullahi. One of our players left for Denmark and still with the club. So we still have like amazing relationship. I still speak with some of the staffs there. Sure. So we have amazing relationship. But like Shola Akinlade no longer has a stake here in the club now.
We learn every day, and it feels good that I'm hearing this first time right now. So I also caught the story about Shola still having a stake right there with the team. Of course, a good one. Now, before I let you leave on the show this evening, Lekan, we've already talked about this, but this is our own system. This is our own Jerusalem, and for everything that we are doing right here, it's also propagating the gospel of football in Nigeria. We know that to some extent, it is not where we want it to be just yet, but if you take a look at the Nigerian football ecosystem in the last couple of years, if you ask me, drastically it has changed from what we used to have. At a point in time, I mean, we are even seeing some of the NPFL games on YouTube. Some clubs are trying to live stream their matches, and before now, let's say in like 2021, 2022, some of these things are not that rampant. But of course, with the push of the new age guys looking to do everything possible to make sure that Nigerian football is also up there, let people see us, because if you want to make money, you need to be visible. So before I let you go right about now, if you are going to be advising anyone in that board right there to say, okay, this is what I need you to do to the NPFL right about now, what would that be? Apart from the NFF changing their statutes.
Anyone following the Lagos FA Cup this season, there's something the Lagos State's FA did that I would credit or commend them for, and that was outsourcing the rights for broadcasting and media to an external company, Cloud Sports, the TV, Cloud Sports. Cloud Sports have covered the FA Cup. Clear pictures from the FA Cup, even from grassroots teams that participated in the FA Cups this season can say, we have professional photos, we have videos of our players, of the games,
and all of that. Into the archive.
Goes into the archives, and those are things that we should be having. You see any proper league, they have TV rights. The NPFL has not been able to get that right. We've gone from Propel, the AI cameras, to some other funny
TV rights, and then you hear about them on Monday, on Friday. They are
funny deals,
backroom deals.
funny backroom deals. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to advise anybody, because to be honest, there is no profitability for any team playing in the NPFL. The state government might be able to, cope, because there's budget from the state to sports, but when it comes to the private teams, to be honest, it is like a walk in the jungle.
Not to talk about the NPFL, but with your team playing in the NNL, how just give me a rough estimate of how much a team will be spending next season.
To be honest, you are playing in the NPFL. Prize money is 200 million, but best believe you'll be spending more than 500 million. We're talking about player salaries. We're talking about transportation. And an average match day, you are transporting more than 30 people. I mean, accommodation, the hotels. You are taking about how many rooms now? 18, 20, 21 rooms for about 2-3 days. Sometimes talking about the cost to run your camp. Players are there. Sporting Lagos camp is. Because at Sporting Lagos, we have a rule. If you are going to do it at all, you have to do it right. At our camp, there are crazy things. There's a PS5 console, there's a large screen for analysis, AC in all of their rooms, in their lounge, there's a swimming pool, there's all of those things. They are using free internet and all of that. Those things cost a lot. But we believe that that's the way things should be. Players should be comfortable. They should, they should enjoy the good life as they are working it out on the pitch. When they come back, there should be a sense of relaxation. You should be able to get into the pool, cool yourself, come to the lounge, play games or whatever. So back to what I was saying. In other leagues in the world, the way it works, in the Premier League, for example, the largest prize pool or share of money is their broadcast rights. Then we now come to ticket, match day tickets. We now come to merchandising and all of that. But here, the broadcast rights is even out of the way. We are not,
because it's not there.
It's not there, to be honest. The time we had Propel, we had chairman of the NPFL still, protest about not even getting anything at that time, and Propel was streaming. So I want them to know that it is possible if we actually put our mind to doing what is right. I mean, there are ways we can, work on all these things, but when the NPFL itself does not have a working media unit, you don't get to see players that are outstanding and being pushed on the NPFL. So we look at the Premier League, they are working together with all the clubs to, push the best talents, to put out the best content. There's a derby coming. When Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos, and Ikorodu City, when it was confirmed that all three of us were going to be playing in the Premier League, I can imagine what it would have been if it was a Premier League. 3 London clubs or 4 London, 5 London clubs, you would see the buzz, you would see the need to come watch. But it is dead.
Not to cut you, but I remember when Sunderland got promoted at the end of last season, and you feel like, there's going to be a tiny side derby between Sunderland and also Newcastle United.
Exactly.
The buzz was out of nowhere.
That's the way it works. Storytelling is cool, and once you start to put out all of those stories, people. But to be honest, here in Nigeria, the clubs are the ones doing these things themselves. You're just doing a lot of things yourselves. The prize money does not do anything, and sometimes the prize money isn't even paid on time. So, what are we talking about? There are rumors of Kwara United allegedly not still being paid their President's Federation's Cup prize money till now. So, so what are you? Imagine it's a private club. you are not depending on prize money itself. You are just running things. To me, sometimes I tell people that if you want to run a private club here in Nigeria, you are just signing up for debit alerts, to be honest. You just enjoy seeing debit alerts. Because, I mean, you are just, the only joy for me or for some of these clubs is the fact that you can push, some of these players, help them achieve their dreams, and the money that sometimes comes in from European transfers. To be honest, that is the major compensation. In fact, that is the largest compensation that you can get. Other than that, you are selling a boy for about £150,000 or dollars, 100, 200. That is where the actual consolation comes from. And I mean, apart from that, there's nothing being done at home here to actually give you a soft landing as a private club. So kudos to all the private clubs,
that are doing it, and are keeping at it. Major thanks to you, Lekan, for sharing insight into the Nigerian Premier Footballer with me on the show this evening. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Thank you so much once again for joining. I will look forward to an amazing 2026-2027 season in the Nigerian Premier Football involving your club. That's talking about Sporting Lagos, where you currently serve as a talent manager for this team. I will look forward to once again during the course of the season. We're looking forward to have you as the season progresses. And of course, we also hope that at the end of the day, your team gets to lay the ends on the NNL trophy right there in Lekan next. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of the show this evening. We look forward to seeing you once again. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. And yes, this is how much you'll be taking on the show for today. Many thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. We're back here on Wednesday from 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. once again. And on Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. Saturdays is 2 to 3 p.m. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the major interviews. I will serve your early morning sports tonic. Sports in a jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM between 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10 on your number one urban lifestyle station. Ayodeji, Ajiboye signing out this evening. I'll tell you to stay sporty, to stay active, to drink enough water, to stay hydrated. Go out there and be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you once again. Have a blessed and highly favored Monday evening. Bye.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of formula.